Hi guys, if you don't know me, my name is Jake and the channel you're watching, 787 Dude, is all about planes and aviation. And in today's video, I'm going to be talking about the different airport markings, like runway markings, taxiway markings, and just general airport markings. Like if you're at an airport, getting on a plane, or you're in a terminal and you see some funny markings on the floor or a sign and you wonder what they mean, well, hopefully I'll cover that in today's video. If I don't, then please comment down below. So yeah, let's get into the video. So I'll start with the runway, because it's probably the one that you might see the most. Probably not actually, but we'll start the runway anyway, because there's so much goes on a runway and next to a runway on the taxiways. So yeah, I'll start with that, and then we'll move inwards, I guess. And I'm going to try and keep it all for London Heathrow, because that's an airport that you would go to sometimes. Definitely most of the time. Not all the time, because, I mean, there's an example coming up. But I won't be at Heathrow, I'll be at Gatwick, which is fine. So, yeah, let's start with the runway. Okay, so as you can see, it's going to be another comic book one. Because, I don't have a picture of Heathrow's runway just hanging around in my room. But we can do it from here. I'll just use my finger as a pointer. Actually, use a pencil. Right. So, we'll start from this side of the runway and we'll go up. Well, this grass area here, there's nothing about it. It's just grass, right? And then we go to here. This is called the blast pad. It's a lot bigger than it looks in real life, like everything is in an airport. What this does, the planes don't go on it, they fly over it. But when a plane is here, waiting for air traffic control, which is there at Heathrow, to say, BA171, you're cleared to take off, runway 27 left, or 09 right, or 27 right, or 09 right. No, 09 right, 09 left, 27 right. So, the planes are waiting here, and because obviously a jet blast from an engine is so powerful, this area here shows that if there's a plane here, this just shows like the blast, where the blast is gonna be. And yeah, it's not a very big factor, it's just there for more of a safety thing. Like if a airside officer car is coming along and there's a aircraft on the runway, they don't want to be in like this area, so they will go around, if that makes sense. So then we've got the threshold. Now the threshold shows where the actual start of the runway is, so like where planes can actually, I say, land as such. This indicates the start of the threshold, and the threshold, you see that there's 6 lines on each side. That also indicates how wide the runway is. Now I can't remember the measurements as such, but I know it starts from 2, and then I think it's 3, 4, 5, and 6. Or they might miss out 3 and 5. It might be even numbers, although it goes up to like 8. A lot of the Saudi airports, well, in like the Middle East, have, like Dubai, Abu Dhabi, have 8 threshold runways. It just means it's really wide. Like, you can have an A380 on a 6, because you can probably find one maybe. Look, Singapore A380. There, do you see? Right there. Isn't that crazy though? Like the skill I hold just to be able to tell that's a Singapore A380 just from there. Now zooming again. No, not focusing. Maybe. Yeah, there we go. That. See the wing, 2 engines, it's a Singapore livery, and yeah. So, back to the runway. And then we have this, the 27 left. Now there's 2 types of this which can happen. There will either be a number or a number and a letter. I'll explain what they're for. So, we'll do number first. So, number, it means for compass. So, they always take a 0 off. So, this would be 270 degrees, which would be west. Took a second. So, I have a compass here. It's just a coincidence. But do you see how... Oh, do you see how... Or maybe not. Do you see the numbers? And if you look at west, it's in between 260 and 280, sorry. And that means it's 270, so take away 0, which it just so navigation in the aircraft and the air traffic controllers and stuff, they know it's easier because they can find it easier. So east, for example, 09, 90 degrees, as you see there. So it's 09 because if it's 2 digits, then they put a 0 in front. If it's 3 digits, then they take off the 0. But they also take off the 0 for 2. That's why it's 09. So a compass on one end of the runway will go up to 180, which is south. And then, no, wait, is that wrong? No, it's not. And then the other side will go up to 36. So 18 and 36. And to figure out what the other number is on the runway, take, for example, we had 08. Then the other side of the runway, so 80 degrees plus 180 degrees gives you the number, which would be 26. So 26. And then where the letter comes in is if there's another runway, as we see it here at Heathrow. That's why Gatwick also numbers are, I think Gatwick is 08. So you have 08 left because I do have a second runway on, like here. So the second runway will be here. It's not used. It's not too small. They can fit some aircraft on it, but it's too close to the main runway. So the letter is for when there is another runway. So on the other side, the exact same side, right, the opposite side, this runway here, it's 27 right. And then up here, it's 09. So this is 09 right, and then that's 09 left. It just helps the pilots navigate when coming into an airport. So, and it means also it's an easy way to identify if you land on the right runway. It happens in the past. Pilots have sometimes landed on the wrong runway. And making this, it means that when they're flying in, they'll be able to see, oh, okay, there, that is the right runway. So, and then we've got the centre line here, which fades here. That's where the planes normally land. As you see, where it gets darker from all the rubber coming off the tyres. So, we've got the centre line, which helps pilots line up with the centre of the runway, especially when landing as well. So, be coming in like that. And, and then here we have landing zones. So all these marked where different aircraft should land. Every one of these markings is a different set of aircraft. Normally the first few are for bigger aircraft. That could be your A380. They land in this section of like the runway. And then further as you get along can be your A320s, 21s. That just shows, but aircraft still normally aim for this area, as it means that they can get off the runway sooner, and it means that they can have more planes land, and saves fuel as well, because you're not going as fast and as far, especially if you're going into like here, you're able to land here and be slowed down by there. on a smaller aircraft. But A380s, A350s, 747s, 777s, all going to land probably no further than that. And then here, around this area, I think it's here, I think that's the PAPI lights. The PAPI lights are always this side of the runway, and they show if the aircraft's too high, too low, or if they're just right. Okay, so we've done like the runway. Oh, one more thing, I guess. This line, these white lines, just show the end, like the runway boundaries, I guess. So obviously past that, you're kind of off the runway as such. So, you can see an aircraft on the runway. I only just realised that. You can zoom in. See? Aircraft there. I'm not sure what aircraft that is because it's zoomed in and it's quite blurry. Yeah, it's too far away. It looks quite a big aircraft, but I don't know. So, moving on to around the runways, this is going to include the taxiways and stuff. We'll start again down here. This bit here, why it's got an X is because if a plane's landing from this side, coming down, which they do, then it means they're not going to turn here because there's a big X on the floor, which shows the pilot that, no, you can't come down here. Even though they'll be able to see this, but that could have been placed before that, which probably would have. And in the dark as well, if they can't see that yet, or in the fog, their lights will be able to see this before. So even if they do come along here, which if you land at Heathrow often, you're not going to anyway, but if they do come through here, then they'll see that and be able to stop and maybe be able to tug back on the runway where they can go up, which would probably spend about quite a while doing that, but hey ho. Anyway, so that's that. Although this isn't at all airports, this is probably at little. This is only in maintenance, which you can see Heathrow's having here. I'm not sure when this is. Then we have all of these things that connect onto the runway. There's not really like a proper name for these, although it's kind of like, think of like a slip road. It's kind of like that. It's just this. So we have the main taxiway that goes along here. And then some airports have like two little main taxiways. That's kind of like that. But this taxiway here connects to some of the stands, quite a few of the stands actually. And connects to like the terminals, where this is like a main taxiway that goes straight down. You can see Terminal 4 main taxiway and cargo's down here. So these are like the main taxiways. And you'll also have them on the other side. So there's a main taxiway that goes up here as well on the other side. And then you have another taxiway along here that connects the terminal. So you can see it goes from all the way to Terminal 5, all the way down to Terminal 2. And then from here it goes all the way from Terminal 4, all the way up to cargo, and then ends there. So they're like your main taxiways. And when aircraft are lining up to take off, or they'll be along here, and you have other aircraft here as well, waiting to turn. Same with Terminal 4, you have them all down here, although there's only really Terminal 4 and cargo, so you don't normally get a big line of aircraft on this side. It's more this side. Although when they are coming from Terminal 4, they do sometimes have to backtrack all the way down here, turn around if they're that big. Although most of the time, on smaller aircraft, they can just line up here, and they have plenty of them up runway. As Heathrow's runways are 2.2 miles long, so from here all the way down to the other side is 2.2 miles long, which is very long actually. And then these is like your slip roads. So when an aircraft is coming in, say there's an aircraft, it turns around here and it will wait. Do you see where these yellow lines are on the floor? So we got that one there, we got that one there, we got one there, one there, one there, one there. So these are like stopping areas, so it should stop between here. and it just means that aircraft can stay safe. So, example, say Captain Bob was coming in, you know, in rubbish landing, he comes this way a little bit. It means the aircraft is safe, because if it was all the way here and it skidded off the runway if it was wet, which is very, I say, it's not happens a lot, but it can happen, and it can happen more often than other things. But yeah, it's just for safety, and it keeps everyone safe, which is the main thing. Now for the next stuff, you have to go a bit more inwards, a bird's eye view shot, which is very cool. I wonder how they got this. This must be from a drone or something. But yeah, so we'll move on to the next area, where actually a bit more on the taxiways and stuff. Okay, so moving on, we are now at Terminal 5. I was going to do Terminal 3 because it's a bit more, but hey, we've got Terminal 5 anyway. This is what I wanted. So this is quite a long photo. As we can see, we've got the 7847s, another 747, another 747, probably come from New York and everywhere else around the globe because they were used lots of places. We've got a 787 here, quite a very plain one though. No pun intended there. I've realised what I've done. What I'm saying is, you see how that one has a blue at the bottom? You see how all of these other aircraft have blue at the bottom? This little one here seems like it has no blue. Although actually I think it does. Some aircraft were like that though. Anyway, so on the actual, so we see here we've got, oh, where did that go? Where did that photo go? Here. So you see what we were just talking about with the taxiways? So here we go. This is the same one we were looking at. 27 left. Although by now it'd be 09 right. See, I call them the slip lanes, slip road, slip taxi. Yeah, whatever. And then, so we've got the main taxiway here again, which we were showing a second ago. And then we've got the taxiway that connects all the other terminals, like secondary main taxiway. So along here, you can see that there's a taxiway that goes straight through, and that will connect up to the other side with all terminals. Other terminals are different because they're different shapes. Terminal 5 is very, like, what you would think it would be, like, bang. There's 3 parts to Terminal 5, so this should be Terminal 5 A gates, B gates, and C gates. As you can see, not sure, because it has got smaller aircraft, a lot smaller aircraft. But no, actually, I think maybe that could actually be the other runway. I think we've got it from a perspective where you can't. Oh yeah, that definitely is A. This is A, that is B, that is C. So A would be all your A320s, 19s, 21s. And then these are like mixed aircraft, like mixed bigger aircraft. And then these are also mixed bigger aircraft. So this is actually 09 right. And then that is the other taxiways. So we've got, it's okay. It really does not matter. It's just, I was just trying to paint a picture. So we can see we've got a taxiway that connects all the way over, and this taxiway will connect to the main and secondary taxiway for the other side of the airport. And we've got this here, it's like a double one. It just to like keep the flow, because there's lots of stands down here because they're all smaller aircraft, and there's quite a lot of stands down here. So it's just to help with the flow. And a lot of these aircraft come in and less than an hour later they're gone again. So it means there's lots of movement in here. So most airports like that add like another one that connects in the middle and stuff, just to help with flow of like the terminal and just the airport itself. You can see here though, we've got all the stands that line up, And there's lots of markings on a stand, which are also getting, like, zooming in a bit more. But you can see these, we've got the taxiway line, which is like the centre line of a runway, but again, instead of for a runway, it's for a taxiway. Helps pilots keep in the middle, which is safe. The taxiways are always the length of the biggest aircraft. So in this case, it would be a 747, although A380s weren't as popular at the time, although it would be able to fit an A380 through here. And they still can now. So this taxiway is the length of an A380's wing plus extra, which I believe it's about 90 meters across, which is, yeah, is a long way. Yeah, it's like quite a long distance. Because, wait, no, sorry guys, I'm wrong. 80 feet is an A3's wingspan, not 8. Wait, no, I have to check this. So guys, I was right the first time. It is meters Airbus A380 wingspan, which I don't know why I thought it was feet. Actually thinking about it now, 80 feet, well, that's nothing. So it probably about 90 meters, 5 meters either side, probably a bit more. It's a big distance, okay. Yeah, it can fit the biggest aircraft. So you think an A320 in there, it looks tiny. And then these also will fit the biggest aircraft. So again, whatever biggest aircraft will come through here. And bearing in mind the 747, probably an A380 again. Also the grass area, it means that it doesn't all have to be tarmac. It can be a bit grass because there's no gonna be planes on the grass, are there? So then moving inwards, you have all these little boxes on the floor with little, like, things in as such. These are the gates. It shows what gates there are. So let's just, for example, be gate 59B. Could be, might not be. If it is, then that is some spectacular thing. But it just shows what gate it is. So you come along and you don't get the wrong gate. You go into the right gate. You see this here? This is a road that goes across the taxiway. There's loads of them everywhere. There's one here. There is everywhere. It's just so vehicles. That could be a catering truck, a fuel truck, some stairs or whatever. Or even an airside officer, anything, a police car, ambulance, it means they can cross here easily without any issues. Obviously, with permission from air traffic control, because it is an active taxiway. And that just means that there's traffic going through. It's not like there's danger as such crossing that without, like, asking for permission and being cleared. That's why if airside officer wants to cross the runway, they have to ask for permission before by air traffic control and wait for aircraft to land, because right away goes to them, the aircraft, not airside officer vehicles. So yeah, so that's, and then here again it just shows more, it just tells you more what stand it is, where it comes out and stuff. And then we've got another road that goes across here, another road that goes across there, and that wraps around. So vehicles can get around easily and efficiently without causing or making any danger for anyone else. And then we've got the stands, which obviously I can't really describe a stand. It'd be amazing if this 747 wasn't there. We could zoom in. But we've got a terminal, although that's not really like a marking, is it? Also, things we haven't seen yet are little boxes on the ground. They're everywhere, and it's got numbers in. You may have seen one before. You normally do see them at an airport if you look out the window, especially by the runways and main taxiways. It tells you direction of the runways. So, like, if you're coming through here, there'll be a sign little here that points to 27 left, 09 right, and it will have a little arrow. and then it'll be taxiway Alpha, taxiway Bravo, and stuff like that. So let's go deeper and explore a stand and the markings that I want to stand. Because look what I just found on Google. I was typing up London Heathrow stand, and I found a map of every stand and runway and everything. This is really cool. Look at this. It shows you every stand, so every Terminal 3 stand. It shows you all the tunnels and taxiways and whatnot. That is actually quite cool. And there's loads of them as well. There's this one. Although, that's not as detailed as the last one. That's quite cool. What's this? Oh, this is the one that my dad showed me. This has got, like, just the terminals, but it tells you what taxiways what and stuff. So, yeah. But anyway, I'm going to actually get a stand up now to show you. Okay, we've got a new tactic. I've gone on Google Maps, and I'm going to go to Heathrow and see if I can zoom in far enough. Right, we're looking for an empty stand. There's loads. Oh, yes. Oh, we can't. I forgot we can't turn. It's okay. There we go. I've rotated my screen, ladies and gentlemen. And it's not the best. Maybe let's go to a bigger stand they normally have. Well, why is there no aircraft here? Is it just me, or like when you look at Google Maps in an airport, one of the busiest airports, there's no aircraft? They obviously like taking it all out, haven't they? Probably for advertising and copyright. Why are these stands all weird for? Just give me a... Yeah, why have I stumbled across a stand that has loads of other stand, like, cause, yeah, anyway. Right, we're here, we're at a stand. It's not the best, but it will do. So as you can see, you've got the number 542. So stand 542. And we have got the stand. Amazing. Da 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 da. So we've got a road, like I said. Now we'll go from the bottom up because I've done that all video anyway, so we might as well do that. So we see here we have a box and we've got some carts in it. It's just like showing where you can drop the carts off out of the way of aircraft and stuff. Here I believe it's probably a drainage pipe. It's quite hard to tell without actually being a bit closer. But then you've got your line, your actual stand line marking. It means that you can align the aircraft and the front wheel easier. And there's a little device on the terminal that goes forward, left, right, and it like with sensors and stuff. Or you get a guy, air marshal arting, that will stand there and marshal the aircraft in. And I believe, yes, somewhere I have a sign that shows all the things. So I found this that I've had for ages. It gives you parts of an airplane, ATC signals, one-way lights, which is actually quite cool. Banking scale, but aircraft martial art and hand signals. So you've got all these. So yeah, if you wanna like go through some of them, just comment down below. We can do a video on that. That'd be a great video. Anyway, so that's martial art. Just guide the aircraft in. If it's really tall aircraft, they've stand on like a step ladder or stool or something, or something else. Anyway, so here you can see we've got different lines as well. This tells the aircraft martial art where to stop the aircraft, and depending on what the aircraft is. So an A380 will go, a really long, big aircraft will go right up to the top, and then it can go down as such when it gets smaller and smaller. So it lines up with the air bridge better than, and we know that there's an aircraft obviously here because of the air bridge is so close. So like here, there'd have been no aircraft in there at the time. And then maybe here, maybe, although there is quite close. Definitely aircraft. No aircraft would have been here, you know. So they've definitely like taken them out, which is a shame. Sometimes. So yeah, that will show where the aircraft would be. And it's also an easy way to identify what aircraft it is by just looking at the ground and seeing where it stopped. So here we have the air bridge or the walkway or whatever, so here it just connects the actual air bridge that goes onto the aircraft. This box around it just shows like in an area where the air bridge could be, so it can be quite dangerous, so like caution and stuff. And then here we've got places to park vehicles or have stuff, or like a tug bar or whatever. And then this area is just also showing again safer areas. Some airports have a red box or red or yellow box round that'll be like that. So it'll be like, and that shows it's just like the wings and stuff. So again, don't stand in that area. Not all airports have it. A lot of the American airports have it, but over in Europe, it's not something you see often because, quite frankly, I mean, you know about where the wings are going to be if you work at an airport all day and do that as your job. So, yeah. And look, it'll map out. Oh, look. That is a Qantas 787-9 because it's the only type. So, we can see here, this is a bit different than the other runway. I'm not sure. This could be older or newer. Yeah, see? So, anyway. This is, so aircraft can be here. It also lines you up with the centre line. Why didn't I just do this? I should have just done with this. Anyway. Yeah. So, if they wanted to extend the runway, they could, and then move out taxiways, but they wouldn't anyway. We can see here, there's a runway ahead. They always have this. These are yellow lines we were talking about earlier, and it also says the runway on the floor. We couldn't pick that up earlier. Yeah, I mean, that is whole of Heathrow, that big area there. This is the other runway. So earlier we were looking at it from like that perspective. So that would be A, B, and C. So, yeah, anyway, that's pretty much it for today's video. We're going to slowly zoom out of London Heathrow. And then see it is sideways, and we can see where we're going very soon. We're taking you along. Very exciting. Portugal. Funchal, also known as Madeira. Soon we'll be going into this airport right here. We're sitting on the right for the way there, and we're sitting on the left for the way back. And on the way there will be for like a YouTube review for BA, and on the way back might turn into New Year special. Haven't decided yet. Could be though. I've picked on the right, so when we come round here, and hopefully we do that really sharp bank because it's Captain's Landing, and then we'll go into like. And our hotel, or my hotel, not your hotel, is along the coast. Funchal's there. It's called the Four Views Oasis, I think. Sure. Here we go. Oh, we were so close. So this isn't our hotel. It looks like a bloody nice hotel though. Pepsi. Oh, Peeps food. So this isn't our hotel. Although this hotel is a 4-star hotel though. Oh, it's got a little park. Oh, we can go on a park, guys. But a lovely garden thing, and yeah. And it's got a nice pool as well. Actually, that looks a lot bigger than it does. But yeah, it's a 4.5. Oh yeah, 4-star hotel. 4-star hotel. But yeah, it looks amazing. I'm excited to go. October 27th. The video will be out by time November. And then we're here. But yeah. Anyway, that's enough. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Please subscribe and turn it to 105 and then 6 and 7, 8, 9, 10. You know, let's get as high as we can to the end of the year. You know, guys, let's try and do it. You know, 74 videos. Oh, what's this? A380 Neo, will it ever be a thing? You know, so let's please like. Okay, like, subscribe, comment anything any questions you have, and yeah, enjoy the rest of your day. Share with all your family and friends. You know, share, like, subscribe, share with all your family and friends, and comment down below any questions you may have or any video ideas what you want to see. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Bye. See you.